What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global here, back with another video, and in this one, we are going to be talking about a free agent signing that the New England Patriots have made here during the dull part of the offseason. Now, New England is bringing in veteran tight end Anthony Firkser, who a lot of Patriots fans actually might remember back from Tom Brady's last game as a New England Patriot. Back in 2019, he actually came to Gillette Stadium for the wild card game for Titans versus Patriots, which again was Tom Brady's last game suiting up as a New England Patriot because we ultimately lost that game. He actually was able to put up a little bit of productions for the Titans against that game, or in that game against the Patriots, where he actually was able to put up a touchdown. And straight off the bat, this is going to be a guy that comes in and gives the Patriots something at the tight end position that they need. Not only is it depth, but it's experience at the position. Johnny Lumpkin, the UDFA, is the only other tight end that the Patriots have other than Mike Gesicki and Hunter Henry. If the Patriots do want to run 12 personnel, 2 tight end sets, or even utilize Mike Gesicki as a wide receiver, they need more tight ends. You can't just rely on UDFA that we haven't seen anything from yet and is mainly a blocker with very to little upside as a receiver. Now, Firkser is a 28-year-old tight end who, quite honestly, behind Hunter Henry, if he makes the roster, and even currently on the Patriots depth chart, is the Patriots' second best all-around tight end. And at the end of the day, what the Patriots are currently looking for in terms of tight end depth is not a guy to start. It's not a guy to back up or start in terms of running 12 personnel into tight end sets, because you have those guys in Henry and in Gesicki. You're at this point looking for a tight end 3, and that's something that the Patriots do utilize, is that they do usually put at least 3 tight ends on that active roster. And now this pushes a UDFA in Johnny Lumpkin a little bit more, but you also do not have to rely on Johnny Lumpkin to succeed and become that tight end 3 for you. And is Firkser a guy that you want to be a starting tight end for you? No, that's not what you want. But as a tight end 3, like I said, this is very, very solid for the Patriots. This is a guy who has been a very solid pro for a few years now. A very, very capable run blocker. A guy who's going to do it a lot better, at least, than Mike Gesicki. And a guy who's also shown some decent ability in terms of pass catching. When looking at his career stats, he has a total of 115 catches for 1,207 yards with a total of 5 touchdowns. To go along with that, he has 0 drops. Or at least he had 0 drops this past season. Speaking of last season, with the Atlanta Falcons, he averaged 11.1 yards per reception and also had a passer rating of 91.8 when he was targeted. Now, last year for Atlanta also, he played in a total of 11 games for them, in which he caught a total of 9 passes on 13 targets for just 100 yards. Prior to 2022 with the Atlanta Falcons, he spent 4 seasons as a backup with the Tennessee Titans, in which he appeared in 58 games for them and tallied up 106 receptions and 5 touchdowns. Now, at 220 pounds, 6'3", this really isn't a guy that I necessarily expect to go off in the receiving game or be a true dynamic piece that they utilize in the end zone. This is just a guy that's going to serve as a depth piece for them. If they're going to truly run 12 personnel with Bill O'Brien, a guy who really does like to use his tight ends and run 12 personnel, then you do need multiple tight ends. Hunter Henry is a guy that doesn't stay healthy. Behind Hunter Henry, you don't have any blocking ability. You look at the Patriots' offensive line, and it's struggling big times in terms of tackle and continuity and just what it's going to look like overall. Especially early on in the season, the Patriots' offensive line could very much struggle. And looking at the longevity of who they face from week 1 to week 18, they face some of the best NFL defensive lines and pass rushes, to which they're going to need good blocking for the run game, but also good blocking in terms of protecting Mac Jones. Before I get into kind of his outlook and what I expect from him with the Patriots this upcoming season, and do I think he makes the roster, I do want to give a massive shout out to the sponsors of this channel over at FanDuel. Guys, right now make a fast break to FanDuel during the NBA playoffs, because right now new customers can get a no sweat first bet up to $1,000. That is $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not hit. Guys, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The best thing that I love about FanDuel and why I think it's easily the best betting service on the market is because of how safe and how secure it is. Whether you're using their mobile app or whether you're going to their website, you are 100% sure that the money that you are putting in and the money that you're winning is 100% legit and 100% protected. The best thing about them also is that as soon as your bet hits, you get paid out instantly. You're not there refreshing your page, waiting hours, waiting days to get your money. You get it as soon as that bet hits. The other good thing that I personally love about FanDuel is just the fact that every single day they do have new promotions. So guys, go ahead and check out FanDuel and make sure you look every single day for the new promotions they have so that you can make some quick and easy money. There's no better place to bet on all of the playoff action than America's #1 sportsbook. Guys, visit FanDuel.com/Boston and get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That is FanDuel.com/Boston. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Now, a little disclaimer here, guys. Make sure you are 21 in your select state and make sure that your state does allow you to bet. Now, your first online real money wager only of a $10 deposit required. Refunds are issued as a non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires in 14 days. Restrictions do apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. If you or somebody you know is dealing with a gambling problem, make sure you guys do call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/ and then the initial of your state. So if you live in Pennsylvania, that would be FanDuel.com/PA. Or just visit www.1800gambler.net. Now, as for Firkser, the reason that I believe the Patriots ultimately brought him in is going to be as a blocking piece for them. Now, with the depth that the Patriots have across the offensive line, I do think they're going to run a lot of 6 offensive lineman personnel in games. But with that being said, you do still need tight ends that are going to help you block. It doesn't matter how good your offensive line is. That's like saying you don't need wide receivers that are still good at blocking. You do at every single phase of the game, especially if you're a team like the Patriots that relies on running the ball. I do think that this does take a hit on somebody like Johnny Lumpkin, just because obviously he is not the only tight end at this point that is likely to make the roster. He has a veteran who is, I think, more capable in terms of blocking and is more capable in terms of receiving. And I do think that the Patriots would rather go with a more veteran, well-rounded guy than UDFA, who is one-dimensional. I think this is going to be good for the team and even good for Johnny Lumpkin at the end of the day too, because it's going to push both players and the Patriots are going to get the best out of their tight end 3 at the end of the day. To me, this is officially a camp battle. There is a camp battle now between Firkser and Johnny Lumpkin for who is going to take that tight end 3 spot, and if the Patriots do add any tight ends up until training camp. And I'm actually just realizing, too, that I totally forgot about Matt Sokol, who has been on the Patriots for a couple of years now, spent last year on the practice squad. But I think that this signing and them even picking up Johnny Lumpkin as UDFA shows that they don't really have much faith in Matt Sokol and that he is still around at this point because he is familiar with the system. And I do 100% believe that Firkser is a much better option than Matt Sokol also. Firkser is a guy that can make a 53-man roster somewhere. Not as a tight end 1, but as a tight end 2 at best to a tight end 3 and a depth piece at this point, as where Matt Sokol is pretty much just a practice squad tight end. All in all, I like the move for the Patriots, and I'll be really curious to see kind of how that battle goes throughout camp for who's going to, at the end of the day, take along that tight end 3 position on that 53-man roster. But what are your guys' thoughts on this signing? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video, and of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. I appreciate you guys for watching, as always, and never forget, go Pats.